Hey everyone, this is Mark Cunningham, and welcome back to another episode of Over-Caffeinated. If you haven't watched before, our slogan is like the view, but not terrible. So we have a really, really special guest today. One of my favorites, Atlanta native and reality TV star, Shekeb Sekander. Shekeb's an actor, and he is, in my opinion, the number one person on the reality show, I Love a Mama's Boy. He is the absolute star of that, other than his mom. So Shekeb, thank you so much for coming on today. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys for even deeming me worthy to even be on your show. I mean, you guys have like legends like Kane and other like big, I feel like a little squirt compared to everyone else you guys interviewed. So, hey, thank you for having me.
The initial email we got back from you about how you lost the email similar to Hillary Clinton, I'm like, he's going to be a great fit for this show. So this is perfect.
Those emails.
So we have our CEO, Justin Owen, as well. Justin, I know that you're not a big reality TV watcher, but I'm going to tell you what Shekeb's show's about.
I appreciate that.
So this is from the TLC website. It says, what happens when you find yourself in a love triangle with your boyfriend's mother? The series follows different women as they compete for the affection of their significant other with their significant mothers. So that is a great show. I know that Justin's going to be watching after this because I think he's interested now.
Oh, boy.
Put it on the list.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So Justin, we're gonna start with you. This is we've talked, about PC culture and the cancel culture and political correctness. And something interesting happened. I guess it was last week or 2 weeks ago that it seems to be maybe going in the opposite direction a little bit. Netflix basically did this thing that they got a lot of uproar about the Dave Chappelle special. Said, depending on your role, you may need to work on titles you perceive to be harmful. The memo continued. If you find it hard to support our content, Netflix may not be the best option for you. So instead of kind of giving into this cancel culture mob, it seems like they've kind of gone the other way and say, listen, this is your job. You have to work on this or you have to quit. What are your thoughts on this? Do you feel like it's kind of moving in the other direction here?
It's about time that it does. It's gotten into a dangerous territory where I don't even know what to say anymore. Like there are words that I was told recently, you can't say crazy. And I'm not talking about like calling a person crazy. I mean, like that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Did you just see that car wreck? You can't say that because it offends people. And so if we allow culture to just banish words that are in our vocabulary because they're offended by them or triggered by them, by the way, that trigger is my trigger word in all of this, but we've got to stop allowing people to bully others out of using words that aren't offensive, that don't have any offensive meaning just because they don't like them. And I'm proud of Netflix for standing up. Companies have fallen prey to this PC culture, the woke mob for too long. And it's time for somebody to stand up. And I'm proud of them for doing it. And it's true. If you can't stomach that, then don't work there. Go work somewhere else. There's plenty of other companies that you can work that will kowtow to your offensive, anti-offensive language.
So the reason I actually had Shekeb on the show was on the season 1 of I Love a Mama's Boy. He said specifically, like, I don't buy in this political correctness and this political correct culture. So Shekeb, what are your thoughts on this? Do you feel like we're starting to move the other way, where we're kind of moving away from the PC culture? And what did you think about kind of Netflix message there?
Well, I see. I mean, honestly, like back when Dave Chappelle was, hot and big and all that, he had his own platform, he had his own show, and he had the freedom to express how he perceives life. Yeah, his jokes can be really, really like out there, about white people, about Jewish people, about gay people, about Muslims, but and he equally targeted everyone. But there comes a certain time where sometimes people maybe take it too far, and we're in a whole different society, man. People like lost their lives, people that lost family in 2020, and I don't want to say people are more sensitive, just people are just more weary now. And I think what Netflix did with Dave Chappelle, in a way, hey. I mean, even with us, with reality TV, we can't fully say like profanity and just say how we really express it. If you want to work in this, it's like if you want to work at a job, you kind of gotta abide into the rules. If you can't abide to those rules, then go out there and just have your own little place to work at. Just have your own little business to actually express how you feel. But yeah, it's I'm off. It's like I'm for it, but then again, I'm not for it. Depending on where the platform's at, I feel like you should just be. If you're going to joke about something, be like respectful about it. Like, I don't know, this whole Will Smith thing that's been going on lately, right? This whole, which I truly think, I feel like it was a marketing shed because, Chris Rock had a tour the next time it's sold out. But still, it's like, now it's like motivating people to just be really disrespectful towards others. It's like, it's giving everyone the freedom to just say what they want to say, which is good. Everyone has their opinion, but maybe don't take it to a full extreme. Don't make it too personal, you could say.
And that's the thing too, is like the First Amendment, you can say what you want, right? Like you're allowed to say that.
Right.
But you also, if you're rude, people have the right to be like, I'm not watching you, or I don't care for what you say because, you know, you're being disrespectful to me. So I don't want to be friends with you, or I don't want to give you money. So it kind of,
Right.
it's kind of both ways. You can say what you want, but also you have to deal with the consequences of what you say, right? If you say something rude and people, you know, they decide to not go to your show or not pay for you, like that's on you.
Right.
And it's funny because Chris Rock hasn't been relevant in like, I don't feel like he's been relevant in like 15 years. And then like you said, the moment after that, his shows sold out across the country because of that.
Man, I feel like celebrities have always like a game plan in hand.
Well, honestly, that's the best marketing ploy ever, if that was what it was.
Yeah.
So let's go to kind of the biggest issue, I think, right now to most Americans is the price of gas. It's over $5 a gallon right now on the average, and it's a big deal. And I saw a recent poll. It's like people don't really know who to blame, so they're blaming everyone. So they're blaming Putin, they're blaming President Biden, and they're blaming oil companies. All of them got more than 50% of the blame for this. So my question to you both is, and Justin, we'll start with you. Who do you blame for the price of gas? Is there one person, or is it just something that happened? And more importantly, is there any solution to make gas a little bit less expensive right now? Because I mean, people are having a hard time making ends meet.
So I actually looked it up. When I first started driving in '99, gas was $1.17. So it's pretty hard when I almost hit $100 filling up my car the other day. So it's brutal for everybody. It sucks. I don't think there's one specific thing to blame. Obviously, the war in Ukraine has driven a lot of this, but so has bad policy at the federal level. You've got restrictions on drilling. You've got restrictions on pipeline access. And when you do those things, there are consequences to it. And you're going to have higher prices when you limit supply. And unfortunately, that's what we're seeing happen. I do think that it'll start to plateau and go back down. We hit a recession, people are going to quit driving as much. And that's going to cause gas prices to go back down. That's still not a good thing though, right? We're in a recession, even though gas prices may wind up easing some. So I think it's a mix of things, but certainly what we can't control the war in Ukraine, but we can control the bad policies that have helped drive the prices up.
And Shekeb, what about you? I mean, to me, it seems like President Biden's maybe getting too much heat for this, or I mean, he's done some things that have been bad, but it seems like people are just blaming him fully because he happens to be in office with this. What do you blame the gas, the price of gas on it, and how would you fix it?
Honestly, man, like everyone's so quick to pull the blaming game. Honestly, even with Joe Biden himself, I mean, there's people above him as well. It's like Biden's kind of like the spokesman, you could say, but I feel like gas is so. I feel like it's a sham. I don't know, like how should I say it? Like I recently downgraded my car, believe it or not. I drove like a little bootlegged 2007 Mercedes, all right? And I was like, you know what? Let me just be more economical. Let me go get a Toyota Corolla, all right? Just like every other brown person in this world. A Toyota Corolla. I'm like, I'm gonna be good on gas. Now freaking gas in Georgia is topping at $5 a gallon, and I'm putting regular, and I'm like spending like $50 to $60. I'm like, so I'm like, in the back of my head, because way like 10 years ago, I used to be in the military. I wasn't a soldier. I wasn't anything like that. I was a linguist for the Army. I translated Pashto and Farsi for the soldiers. And I met this lieutenant. God, if I can remember his name, this would have been nice. He told me that every 10 to 11 years, we're going to have an economical collapse. And then business owners and like independent owners and all, they're going to try to like take advantage of these kind of situations. Like right now, I feel like maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying, what if companies are just taking advantage of people right now? Like, what if they're just upping up the price so they could profit more? I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying that some of these things makes no sense to me. Like, why does everything has skyrocketed to that point based off a war, based off a financial collapse? Like, I feel like as in this country, we're just so focused on other countries. We should be really more focused on ourselves. Like, I heard about, they're sending like, I'm being brutally honest. What I heard, they said they sent 40 billion. Was it 40 billion to Ukraine or something like that?
40, yep, that's right.
Which is good. Which is really good. And you got to help your partners on it. But at the same time, what about the people living in the United States? Holy cow! Don't you think we need it more? It's like before you help others, help yourself as this country. So I don't know. I'm kind of pissed off about it because I'm spending a lot more money now. So, and I can't blame Biden. I can't blame Putin. I just feel like I got to blame someone that's not seen, someone that's in the higher echelon of all this.
And it's interesting because I mean that's a common thing. It's not even people are not against sending money to Ukraine, but they're saying, well, look, we have so many issues here. Why are we spending that much money on a country that like they it's a bad situation, but we have to take care of our own people, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, if you want to help others, like you got to help yourself first to help out others. And it's very unfortunate that we even have a war going on. Like it's so stupid. Like even the war in Palestine or this or Ukraine, this or just anything. It's just why do we even have wars in the first place? Like blows my mind.
We had $1 gas. I think everyone will be happy with that. Yeah. Back to that.
We'll come to an agreement, right?
Yeah. So let's go to kind of a more fun topic here. One of the things that has annoyed me consistently is some of the hate that these celebrities get who are not. They've done nothing bad. Dane Cook, I watch things. I don't understand why people hate Dane Cook. You might not love him, but the hatred he gets is horrible. And Guy Fieri has done nothing but.
Do people hate him?
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! And Guy Fieri says,
you know me. I don't know anything about who's popular, who people are pissed at, or anything.
Yeah, you're an 80-year-old man, but it's like this idea that these guys who like have done nothing wrong, people are just like, honestly, even Amy Schumer, I don't love her, but the hatred some of these people get for just being mediocre. I think Nickelback, again, I've defended Nickelback a lot. I think, but
he loves Nickelback, by the way. He'll mention
Nickelback
every 5 minutes.
But wow. the problem is that why do people hate them? I don't know. My question is, who's somebody who you like a celebrity who people trash and you think it's for no reason, whether it's a band that everyone thinks sucks or it's some celebrity that people hate for no reason. So Shekeb, I'm going to start with you on this one. Name a celebrity who you like that other people for some reason don't.
Well, first off, I love Dane Cook, by the way. Dane Cook is a great actor, great comedian. I don't know why he's getting a lot of heat, but hey, it is what it is.
I know, he's hilarious. All his movies are great. Like he's stand-up great. I don't get it.
Makes no sense. But if it's one celebrity that I would love to back up, and I believe it's Justin Bieber, man. I know it sounds really, really weird, but even when his come up, when people were like, when he first got noticed, people were just talking trash about him. Like, oh, look at this little kid with his little mop haircut. And now even today, people are trying him. People are trying him online. People are trying him in person. People are trying to attack him, do all this stupid stuff just to get under their skin. And I'm like, why? This guy is like out there making music for your girlfriends and for your wives. Maybe they're intimidated by it. Like, whoa, this guy's pleasing my wife. I don't know. It's just weird stuff. But and like even today, you heard about Justin Bieber have his little virus thing going on with his face or something. I was reading comments like, oh, can't wait till he passes. Like,
Jeez.
Let's sacrifice Justin Bieber and get back Michael Jackson. I'm like, God damn, like what is wrong with you people? Like, and I'm trying to figure out where all this hatred is coming from. And that's one thing I learned about reality TV, because we sat down and talked with the social media team, is that people to even like say these kind of things online, they're coming from a bad mental place. Either they're having a bad day, either Justin Bieber triggers something in them that they don't like. It's usually a problem within themselves. They have to like, spread. They're
definitely projecting.
100%. Are you a fan of Justin Bieber?
I love Justin Bieber. I mean, my wife loves him, so it's like, and his voice is great, and he's got a cool story because he kind of did all these horrible things when he was younger. Yeah. You know, he's DUI and crash, but he's improved and he's like become somebody who's like a good person, and he still gets all the hate. Like all the guy's doing trying to improve himself and has a great voice. I don't understand what the hatred's about. But also, I don't think anybody on social media who's tweeting at you, Shekeb, has not seen you in person. You are jacked. I saw you working. Like, I wouldn't want to mess with you in person.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I used to bodybuild back in the day, but I kind of like let it go because in this whole acting world, they kind of like when I first started acting, all they gave me was like security officer 1, cop 1, security officer. I'm like, let me lose weight.
Stereotyped.
Very stereotyped. I'm like, at least give me a terrorist role. I'll be happy with that. But come on, like, jeez.
So Justin, who was your celebrity? Like people just hate on, but you would defend?
Yeah, well, I didn't know Dane Cook was getting trashed on. So
I mean, he did a whole special trying to interview why do people hate me, and he's like, I guess I get it. I kind of look like, and I didn't like. People don't like the way I dress. They thought I was kind of broy. I was one of the first bros, but like I don't know, like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I actually want to do one that just you always trash is Dave Matthews. So
oh gosh,
I hate that. I like Dave Matthews. I think he's good music. So I'm going to stand by him, even though you trash him all the time. But who's better, Dave Matthews versus Nickelback? Come on.
I mean, one is still going on tour and selling out, but I don't know.
So is Dave Matthews.
That's true. Well, so here's the thing about Dave Matthews, though. I feel like the reason that he was so popular in the day, I feel like everyone loved him. And now I think he's kind of I don't know. He doesn't seem like he seems like kind of annoying in person. So maybe it's not as much as music.
So you're judging people that you've never even met and talking about poor Dane Cook getting judged by.
I said annoying. I'm not trying to fight him, at least.
You don't wish to death upon him. I'll give you that.
He does have one or two good songs. I feel like anybody who we hate on, he does have a few good songs. And Andy Bernard skates in the rink to him in the office. He plays the Dave Matthews things in the office. Okay, well that's a good one. So one of these, and Justin, you're probably closer to old enough, but you probably don't remember this. But Howard Johnson's. Have you ever heard of this restaurant?
I thought it was a hotel.
It is a hotel too. There's a Howard Johnson hotel, but so
I didn't
Howard
know it was a restaurant.
Yeah, it was the largest restaurant chain in America in the 1970s. And the last Howard Johnson just closed. It was in upstate New York, and it just closed. So, it was like this big deal for people who grew up in the 70s and 80s. So it made me think, what is a restaurant or a business that closed that left you heartbroken? Whether it was the chain or, I mean, it can be a Blockbuster or something like that. But what's something that closed up completely where you're like, wow, this is going to like change my life? Because Howard Johnson I talked to my dad, anybody in their, Layla might know about that, but anybody who's a little bit older, like kind of their 50s or above, remembers Howard Johnson's. So Justin, what was somewhere that closed that just kind of left you heartbroken?
You know, we had the best hot chicken place, like half a mile from my house, Pepper Fire. So you don't do original Nashville hot chicken, go to Prince's. You want the touristy place, go to Hattie B's. But Pepper Fire was the best. And they closed right before COVID, actually. They've been closed for a long time. They just opened back up on the west side of town, which is too far for me to go to. So I still haven't had my fix in like 3 years now. And the best hot chicken in town. We tried to order it on Uber Eats last week, and they delivered our food to the wrong house. So we still didn't get it. So I'm still trying to get my Pepper Fire hot chicken, but it's good
Thankfully,
stuff.
you at least have a choice. Like you can drive 10 minutes if you choose to. Like it's hard.
But I couldn't for like 3 years. They just opened back up.
That's true. Now does hot chicken stay if you put it in the fridge or not really? I've never really like if you put it is it still good the next day?
I wouldn't mess with that. Do you want to eat hot chicken 2 days in a row?
I know what it does to your stomach. I do not want to do that. It's really problematic. So Shekeb, what about you? What's somewhere that closed? It could be a restaurant, it could be a store that like really you're like, man, this is the worst.
I want to say Shoney's. I mean, there's Shoney's is still around, but it's like there's
really,
a lot more in Georgia, but it's going away now. And I grew up on Shoney's pretty much, especially when my family came to America like 30 years ago. Shoney's was like one of their favorite restaurants to grow up with, and we all go there to eat like hot fudge cakes and buffets and all that. So that's one restaurant I'm kind of like sad to see to like leave, and it's slowly going away. Like I said, like at least like six restaurants did close down, and there's like probably one left in I think there's two left in Georgia. One is owned by the WWE guy Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner owns one. But
you got to come to Nashville. We got two of them still. At least we got one by the airport, and they did the Shoney's by the airport did a new one where they have like a bar and everything now. They just redid the outside, so it looked really nice. I know they sold the breakfast buffet, but also alcohol. Like it's crazy.
In the world, in Nashville?
Yeah, in Nashville. Yep, we got two. Come down here. We'll treat you to some Shoney's.
You could load up on some food, like $4.99 all you can eat.
Look, you guys sound like a commercial right now. Look at you guys.
That's right. You're the one who loves it. We're trying to appeal to you.
We're trying to get sponsors for this show.
Yeah. Product placement over here. Look at these guys.
That's right. No, Shoney's is good though. I mean, you get a lot for not that much money. So I mean, that is always a good thing. And when especially when you're kind of watching your money, it's like if you can get filled up for under $8, how do you beat that?
You really, the food is really, really good. It's healthy too.
You can get a whole, like all you can eat Shoney's for the price of a gallon of gas. How about that?
That's right. That's pretty much right.
Good slogan right there.
So I'm doing something I think is really cool coming up this week. I'm actually going to Vegas to play in the World Series of Poker. It's kind of one of my lifelong dreams. I finally have enough money to actually do that. And it's a cool thing. So I want to get a little bit personal with you guys. What is something on your bucket list that you would like to achieve in the next 5 years? Something you thought of, you're saying, man, I really want to do this. And, I haven't gotten around to it, whether it's somewhere you want to visit or something you want to do. Justin, we'll start with you. What is something that's on your bucket list that you hope to achieve by the time, you're 40?
Well, that's next year. So.
Okay, 44. He looks like he's 12 sometimes, so it's hard.
5 years. Yeah, I'd love to own my own business. I've said that. Like if I didn't run Beacon, I love my job. I would love to be an entrepreneur. And so I can do that on the side. I can have like a side hustle, but I'd love to like create something new and eventually become rich doing it. I'm going to do that in 5 years. I don't know, maybe, but that's definitely high on my list.
Do you have an idea of a business you want to do or kind of?
I've got something percolating, but I can't say what it is.
Okay, Paul, we got trademark issues. So what about you, Shekeb? Like something on your bucket list that, I just want to get done soon.
Mm-hmm. But first of all, let me tell Justin. You say you're 40 years old.
I'm 39 in like
39.
2 weeks.
You still look like a 23-year-old college kid.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
That's way nicer than we say. We say like 10 years old, especially when he had he had the Justin Bieber haircut he used to have.
I look like a teenager and act like an 80-year-old, like Mark said. So I'm an enigma.
But something I want to do, honestly, something very generic. I want to go skydiving. I want to jump off a plane, and that, and also I want to like actually star in a big film. You know, I look up to Keanu Reeves a lot. Like I always see myself like as an action guy, because I have a very energetic, bubbly personality. I can never tone it down. Like even when it comes to like acting wise, sometimes my coach is like, "Yo, Shekeb, turn it down just a bit." So okay, hold on. But I just want to like star on a big film as like it would be nice to be a lead, but hey, I'm gonna dream about it. We'll see. But that, and also just skydive, just let it all loose, just jump off the plane, let go of all your problems. What, gas problems? What, we have a war? Forget about it. I'm jumping off the plane.
We're gonna Taylor, when we advertise the show, we're gonna tweet all the studios and say that we have your lead man for your next movie. Put him in a movie and let him skydive in the movie. You get two things at once.
Dude, I'll love you to death.
That's awesome. So we're going to go to a game called This or That, and we're doing an interesting version. I think one of these things will actually be pretty personal to you, Shekeb, but we're saying you have to pick which one of these things is worse. So I'm going to give you two choices, and you have to say this one is worse because of this. You got to give one sentence. So Justin, we're going to start with you. What is worse, being in the freezing cold in a t-shirt or being in the blistering heat with a jacket on? Which one?
Heat. I can take cold all day long, especially right now. It's 100 degrees here. I can't even go outside. It's like standing in a mouth. So I definitely will take the cold in a t-shirt.
Okay, what about you, Shekeb?
I'll take the cold in a t-shirt. I'd rather freeze to death than to like burn to death, honestly.
Yeah, it's not comfortable to sweat. At least when you can't feel anything when you're freezing cold. When you're sweating like crazy, it's not fun.
Absolutely horrible.
So the next one, watching tennis on TV or watching golf on TV? In my opinion, the two most boring sports to watch on TV. Which one do you think is worse, Justin?
Tennis. I can at least watch like a few minutes of golf, and it's good to take a nap too. It's very peaceful, calming back, the narrators, but I can't watch tennis.
What about you, Shekeb?
Me and Justin relate. I can't watch tennis either. I know that people say it's very, very fun, energetic, but golf to me is more focused. It's more, I don't know, golf to me is very aesthetic. It's aesthetically pleasing to see for some reason. My older brother's a golf pro, by the way.
Oh, okay. So you gotta watch that. You gotta watch what you say. It is at least pretty much courses, and they're like beautiful. You see the water and like the green looks nice. Exactly. As opposed to tennis, you just see a stupid, square and people hitting the ball back and forth.
Yeah,
I love playing tennis. It's just not fun to watch. So next, what sounds worse to eat? Tofu or soy yogurt? Justin, which one do you think sounds grosser? They're both pretty disgusting.
I can eat tofu in like Asian food, right? Like, miso soup. It's pretty good, but I've never heard of. What did you say? Soy
yogurt. Yeah. Oh. I looked up the most disgusting things and that came up number one. So that's where I got this question from.
That's going to be mine. I'll never have that.
Shekeb, what do you got?
Man, I always like to try new things just for the hell of it. Even if it's going to give me some like bad like ringworms or whatever, let's do the soy yogurt. I'd rather try soy yogurt because I tried.
Oh, wow. Before. We got to do a video of you eating that just to see if you throw up or not, because that sounds pretty gross to me too. I'm not
That'd
sure.
Be amazing. It's like Jackass 2.0,
That's right. So who is more annoying? The guy who talks about Bitcoin all the time or the guy who talks about NFTs all the time? Because I mean, a lot of them are the same people, but Justin, What would you say? Which one do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap. We got some Bitcoin fanatics on our team. I'm probably going to go with NFTs because I think that, I get them a little bit, but I feel like it's kind of stupid.
What about you, Shekeb?
100% NFT guys are by far the most annoyingest people I've ever seen. Like, yo, check out this NFT and check out this picture of a pink monkey with gold bandana. It's just like, how?
But I'll sell you for $5,000.
Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, what is going on? Bitcoin at least has a promising future in a way, but NFT is like, I don't know. I'm not really into that kind of stuff.
Those people are the loudest too. Like, this is the only thing we're gonna get hate mail from on this thing. We'll get a bunch of emails saying like, "Oh, I love NFTs. What's wrong with you guys? F you guys." Like, people are so passionate about these two things. I don't understand, but Bitcoin's at least something. The last one, my favorite question, and Justin, we're going to start with you because Shekeb might need some time to think about it. What's worse? Your mom setting you up on a blind date with your current girlfriend there, or buying your mom and girlfriend the same lingerie? Which one do you think is worse?
Damn.
The latter.
Latter. So these both happen on the show that Shekeb is on. Both those happen, and one of them happened to Shekeb. Thankfully, not the last one, but these both actually happened on this show. So Shekeb, which one do you think is worse, having experienced one?
Man, honestly, I'd rather go with the lingerie, to be honest with you.
Wow. I guess you were so Justin, he was set up on a blind date. His mom, they were supposed to get lunch with him and his girlfriend, and she brought a blind date for him. And I think that's the most uncomfortable you looked in the entire series, Shekeb.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that too? 2 days after that, we had the whole lockdown. I think I had COVID. I'm not sure if I had COVID or not, but while we were filming it, I had 104-degree temperature.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, man. You're already annoyed to begin with.
Yeah, I was annoyed to begin with. Then this whole scene itself, like, just made it even worse. But yeah, you know, like, even in our culture, especially Middle Eastern culture, they like to always like bring in another woman, like, you know, this could be a potential bride. And then your girlfriend would be, I don't know, man, having a fight with your girlfriend or your wife ruins your entire day. So that, to me, is by far the worst thing my mom has ever done on the show. So I'd rather see both them in lingerie than actually go through that again.
Wow, that is something. I saw. I just watched The Big Sick, and that's. I mean, I know it's a different culture, but they kept bringing in, you know, potential matches while he had a girlfriend, trying to like get him and get all the pictures of them. That was a great. I mean, your mom. That was a great scene, at least. Very, very fun to watch. So Shekeb, I want to ask you now. Obviously, I think that, you know, I Love a Mama's Boy I think it's really picked up steam. I think you've seen a lot of things. I'm interested to hear about. You know, we talked about people on social media being trolls. I've seen that you've had some negative comments on there. What does the reaction generally be like, you and your mom and Emily? I mean, have you generally gotten good responses on there, or has it been more negative from people?
There's good and bad, but honestly, you get like 99 good comments about the show. And then there's always going to be that one person out of nowhere. For some reason, people tend to like focus more on that one negative comment. And because I was a troll growing up in high school back in the day, having fake profiles, I know how to work the system. So, you know, I always, like, if they say something like mean or something hurtful, or like, oh my God, you should just marry your mom. So yeah, I said the same thing to your mom, but she declined. You know, like, just weird, just stupid stuff like that. And people get really serious about it. Like, and then honestly, once you respond to a negative comment and you're in the public eye, all of a sudden they deem you as the bad person. Like, oh, you see, he's body shaming us. I'm like, you brought the same energy here. I'm just giving it back to you. Yeah. So I honestly have fun with social media when it comes to negative comments. Unfortunately, some of the other cast members on the show, some took a hit, like, as in, like, some couldn't even handle it. And I even like told them, like, hey, just have fun with it. You know, they'll always say this online. They'll never say it in person. Like, I've heard emotional incest, sleep with your mom, your girlfriend brought COVID to America. I'm like, oh my God, here you go with this. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, it's fine. And, you know, especially my mom has a kind of like a FU mentality. Like, she doesn't even care. So, okay, cool. I'm still number one.
Honestly, but that's the funny thing, is that if people, you know, you are all unbelievably likable. You know, different. Of course, everyone's going to pick out the scene that you are, but you guys, all three of you, are you know, very likable overall, and it's crazy.
Thank you.
Go on there and do that. And so, I guess the last question, because I mean, there's a lot of people who talk about that. What is anytime you talk about reality TV, everyone's always like, how much of it is real, right? Like, you always say, oh yeah, some of it seems staged, some of it seems real. I don't think any reality show is 100% real. So what do you say to people who are like, oh yeah, I mean, it seems all staged? I mean, how much of it would you say is real compared to kind of something that's maybe kind of real, but exaggerated?
Well, people couldn't really understand the concept between what a mama's boy is. And mama's boys are actually a real thing. There's actual guys that are like, they can't cut the apron strings, as they say, or cut the umbilical cord with their mothers. Also, the problem, I'll get to your question, because I'm an actor and an actor got into a reality TV show, people are questioning, like, it's fake, you're an actor. I'm like, hold on, acting is a job too. That's like saying a doctor can't venture out and have his own practice. Yeah. Like, so, you know, with reality TV, yes, it is real. Sometimes you have to recreate something that's actually happened. Like, you have to relive a moment for the camera itself. It's not necessarily scripted. Maybe a long time ago, reality TV was like literally verbatim, word for word. But now it's mainly just like, it's like, here's a topic. You know, you guys have been through this before. Let's talk about it on camera. Yeah. And then the emotions fly out.
Yeah, I think people always kind of think like The Hills and Laguna Beach, those old shows that were, clearly scripted. But I gotta say, if it is scripted, your mom is the greatest actress of all time. She is clearly so authentic. Like there's no way it's like seeing her. It's like she's a better actress than you if that's true.
Right. I know 100%, man. She was. I don't know where it even came from. Like my mom has no entertainment industry background at all. She's she's a teacher. But how my mom is when she's mad, that's how she really is. But in all honesty, she's actually the sweetest person as well too. And people call her a racist too. And there's another thing about this. They deemed her and us being racist because my mom didn't accept Emily because she's Asian. I'm like, that is not the case. It's just preference.
Yeah. Well, we love Layla. Me and my wife, so please tell her, give her our regards. We think she's excellent.
Thank you.
So my last question for you is, what's moving forward? What's some stuff coming up for you? I know that you work in a lot of movies. I saw your IMDb page is starting to fill up. Is there something you're working on right now that you're really excited about?
Yeah. There's a Tyler Perry show that's coming out July 14th. It's called All the Queen's Men, and I'm gonna be on it. I think I'm gonna be on episode 1.
Okay.
July 14th, and I play some sort of like, I think it's like a racist convenience store owner. But I'm like, I'll take it. But yeah, unless my scene is cut. But yeah, I'll be on that July 14th. I'm not sure what time, but it's called All the Queen's Men. And believe it or not, the show kind of helped with that. Some of the guys saw like, hey, I know this guy. The reality TV does kind of help with exposure, but you still have to audition. Well,
I don't know if it can beat the Medea, the Boo Halloween, but hopefully we'll see. I mean, that's some big shoes to fill.
Right.
Man, Shekeb, it was awesome to have you on. We really appreciate your insight. And honestly, good luck with everything. It's actually, I think it's June 19th is when I Love a Mama's Boy season 2 or season 3 premieres. Is that correct?
Yes, June 19th on Father's Day.
On Father's Day, there you go. That's perfect. I see your dad just kind of like he's like 2 lines on the whole show because your mom is very powerful. But it is definitely worth watching. It's on you could see it the same day on Discovery Plus or it's on TLC Live. But Shekeb, we really appreciated you're a great guy. We look forward to them. We everything you said is great, and we just appreciate you being on the show.
I mean, I appreciate you guys for giving me an insight, and I appreciate you guys for even like taking the time to even bring me here, even like to even talk about this crazy show and about life in general. But we should definitely do this again sometime. Maybe different questions, maybe more serious questions too.
Oh man,
really trigger some audience.
We can do it while you skydive. That's my. If we can put a mic on you while you're skydiving, we'll do it.
Lord have mercy. All right, you just want me to die. All right.
Thanks so much, Shekeb. We appreciate it.
Well, Mark, Justin, thank you so much. Taylor, thank you as well. And have a good one, guys. All right. Respect your mother. All right.